Welcome to the What's Update. My name is Elijah, and that was a very intense episode of Game of Thrones, The Spoils of War, Season 7, Episode 4. I'm going to recap that for you now. And wow, I got to say this first. No show does what Game of Thrones does. And there's a lot of ways to tackle that statement. But basically, from a scale and scope standpoint, no one does it better. Sequence, just the Bronn single shot work, that fantastic. But the main thing that Game of Thrones does is that it makes you care about, root for, and have genuine interest or affection for people on both sides of the conflicts. No matter what it is, there's someone to like. Stannis, Team Stanny was terrible. Like I didn't know if I wanted him to win, even though like you kind of rooting for them because they're on the side of the Baratheons and Robb almost a little bit. But then also, Davos is there, and they give you people to root for on each side. And at the end of the episode, in the climax, you're not rooting for Drogon the Dragon to die a horrible death, but you're also not rooting for Bronn to get his face blown off. It's just there's just so much tension as this face-off is happening, and Jaime and what he's doing on the battlefield. There's just so much that. There's just so much care and emotion in these scenes. They're charged, they're electric, they're phenomenal. So, back to the beginning of the episode. Just so much happened in this episode. We get Jaime saying, "Oh, we secured the gold. We got all this. Hey, Bronn, here's a bag of gold for you. Be satisfied." We got that character work that set up that, hey, remember you care about Bronn and Jaime? Remember that, guys? Well, we're going to put that to the test at the end of the episode. We got Cersei talking to the bank, and they're like, hey, as long as we get their gold, Golden Company can come help you out. You guys are the Golden Lions. The Golden Company will come help you out. It's going to be cool. We're like, thank you, Tycho, Mycroft Gatisse. We like you. We like you. Thank you for saying that. Cersei and team just racking up a lot of wins, and this is the balancer. This is the equalizer. I would assume from this episode that Jaime is captured because they saw him go into the water with Bronn. So, Tyrion gets to confront his brother and Bronn. I don't know why they wouldn't let that scene play out. I don't think Bronn and Jaime are just going to get away. If they did, that might be weird. But the gold got to King's Landing, so the Iron Bank is not breathing down Cersei's neck anymore. So scales balanced. The beauty of the Stark reunion up at Winterfell cannot be understated. How great all of that was. Every scene, the Sansa Arya scene. The last we saw them, they were bickering sisters who had nothing in common and didn't want to be around each other ever. And now it's a warmth. It's a happiness that they both made here. They even said this is not. Arya says our stories aren't over. No one knew what our father's face looked like, but we do, and that was beautiful. I cried. I'm still emotional now just thinking about it. Bran still being a straight up creeper. His send off for Mira Reed, we'll probably never see her again, but straight creep status, Bran. But I get it. He's no longer Bran. He's the three-eyed raven. So we have to cut him some slack there, I guess. But just really unemotional. I think he definitely knows that Littlefinger's the one who tried to assassinate him, but he's just letting it go. He's just letting it roll off his shoulder because maybe he can see the future and knows what's going to happen later. But everything that happened at Winterfell, beautiful. In other weeks, and this is kind of how awesome this show is this year because of its condensed 7-episode schedule. There's no fat. It's just action, action, action. In a week where we have that amazing the amazing scene between Brienne and Arya and their fight and their choreography and just how badass that was. In any other week, that would have been the set piece of the episode. That would have been the thing that we're all talking about. Just oh, that was so cool. Like just Arya back being just great, getting the cat's paw dagger and all this stuff that happened in Winterfell. That would have been the highlight of any other week. But that end sequence with Drogon and the Dothraki and the Lannisters getting their shit kicked in. We didn't see Tarly get killed, Randall or Dickon, and we didn't see Bronn or Jaime get the dust bitten. I really thought that Randall Tarly was going to get fucking eaten by a dragon. I thought that was 100% lock it up. That was going to happen. So we don't know the status of those gents. They're probably all going to be prisoners of war or captured by Daenerys. Hopefully, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Maybe one just gets he's like, I will never bow to you, you filthy Targaryen. And then Drogon's just going to be like, delicious. Maybe that'll be what happens there. But, okay, so I got what I wanted from Jon. I got the scene where Theon arrived, and he's like, is that a Greyjoy boat? And he goes in there, and he just, pulls him, and he's like, because what you did for Sansa is the only reason I'm not killing you right now. And I'm just like, yeah, Jon, punch him in his fucking face. Kill him. Kill Theon. I wanted that. But, they resolved that plot thread that those two wouldn't be cool, and it's good that they showed us that. The greatness of the scene with my guy Jon putting the moves on Daenerys. It seemed like leading her through a cave, like, "Hey, girl, I do my best work in caves. Do you know what a Lord's kiss is?" She's like, "No, what's that?" He's like, "Let me show you later." But like, Jon does his best work in caves. Let's be real. Like, if you guys think about Jon and the things when he succeeds, Jon's he has a 0 loss record when he's in a cave. So round of applause for Jon Targaryen getting himself some more cave action with the Queen of Dragons there. I think she's starting to feel him. And then Davos doing that jab before they talk to Missandei, being like, "I saw you staring at her heart." So yeah, they're setting up the romance between them, and I'm good. I would like to see the union of ice and fire. But what happened in that cave? It was a little on the nose and a little cheesy with like the sketchings and the drawings and stuff, and how perfect the White Walkers looked. I thought it should have looked a little more caveman or rudimentary, but it was really important for the audience and beautiful. Like, I got emotional when Jon was using the lessons of the people from the past, the First Men and the Children of the Forest, who in this world historically warred against each other. You could see in this cave that they came together, and they had like the circles that they had been laying the horses in, the White Walkers had been before, and in this cave, it gave me a sense of this has all happened before, it all happened again, like Matrix stuff, with the way that the Night's King looked like the Night's King. Maybe he had like more of a beard, but it was just very familiar. When I was looking at the cave paintings, I'm gonna like do a deep breakdown, because like I feel like the Da Vinci Code is in there, or like the number 23, or like I'm gonna be like what is it, Jim Carrey in that number 23 movie, and he's like, I'm just gonna be scribbling on walls, just trying to figure out what all those crop cave circles meant. But yeah, that was another wonderful scene. I can't say enough about this episode. It was so good, and this season has had a lot of episodes like Hardhome, where it's like a ton of badass stuff happens, and then there's this crazy action set piece at the end of the episode, and you're just like, oh shiz. And I think next week, episode 5 leading into 6 and 7 will definitely be the reset. This will be our breather. This is like a calm down, chill out week, and then the next 2 will probably be insanity to the maxity. But I love where the show's at right now. And I got to talk about that last sequence. I mean, I did expect a Dickon to die, or a Randall Tarley. I did expect there to be some consequences. Maybe that's the one downside to that end sequence, where just there wasn't a lot of consequence, even though the Lannister army somewhat decimated the food and grain supply. So like the long game, it's very impactful what Daenerys did, and her finding out about the dragon crossbow bolt thing and Drogon, it being in Drogon's shoulder there, that's good information for them to find out. But in the short term, we didn't lose any characters, and maybe that's something new for Game of Thrones to do, because as soon as the dragons were there, I was like, well, those Tarleys are dead, the Randall and Dickon, and maybe Randall did die and I just didn't see it, but I didn't see Randall dying anywhere or getting burned, so I assume that those 4 characters whose faces we know, we saw Jaime and Bronn be safe. Bronn saving Jaime at the end. Solid work there, Bronn, because I was very, very, very worried. And I loved Tyrion just be like, you idiot, you idiot, you idiot. And he was going to watch his brother die. He was just going to let his brother die. I wish they would have allowed Tyrion to yell out Jaime or something to stop him, to signal him that he cared still. But, they're across the battlefield. Probably couldn't have heard him. But I wish that we would have got that from Tyrion's character. Like, one more yell out in not servitude, just one more instance of us showing that he cares about Jaime. But we'll probably get that next week, because I imagine that Jaime and Bronn will be captured along with the rest of the Lannister army there, and they'll be all with Daenerys in that audience thing where she's like, bend the knee or die. And it showed a little shades of Mad Queen stuff where she's just like, burn them all, ha ha. It showed a little bit of that. It's gonna be good stuff, guys. It's the best show on TV. It's hands down the best show on TV. And I liked the scene with Missandei and Davos talking about how and why she believes in Daenerys, just as much as I liked that end sequence where Bronn's running through the battlefield of flame. Like, that was a hell of a sequence. Just masterfully done, amazingly done. Tomorrow we're gonna go into deep dive and theories and consequences and fallout of what's happening from this episode. But this one was just action-packed, shorter than the rest of the season. 66 minutes 2 weeks ago, 70 minutes. This one was only 50, so a 20-minute drop. But just no filler, all killer, just hitting the gas pedal. Dave and Dan are just taking us through this year, and it's breathtaking. It's a feat to behold. I can't believe how good Game of Thrones is this year, and that was a all-timer, right? That was up there in the emotional stakes. No other show has the emotional stakes that Game of Thrones has, because I cared about Jaime, and I cared about, like, I never for a second thought that Jaime was going to spear Dany, but I'm just like, I do not want Drogon to kill him. Also, I do not want Jaime to kill Drogon. Like, all of it, with the Bronn and the Drogon thing, every part of it, you're just like, no, stop, no, don't, please, Dothraki, badass warriors, by the way, just riding through the flames, and Daenerys like, let me just blow a line in there, a hole through their lines, and they're just like, let's spread out like crazy ants amongst the place, and they're just like swinging the things and standing on their like horses with like a bow. Like, how hard does it have to be to like stand on a like a horse and then like have accuracy? I have no idea, but just hats off to you, Dothraki, for being badass warriors. Hats off to Daenerys for showing her military might, effing up some faces, wrecking some fools in the field of battle, and yeah, her and Drogon are starting to get in sync in this this flight murder death battle. So I'm down. It was just such a good episode. Littlefinger stuff. That's what we're gonna get into tomorrow with the cat's paw blade and him handing that, Sansa and him exchanging looks while Brienne was down there with Arya. Sansa clearly getting a little jelly, being like, "You pledged yourself to me. Why would you protect Arya? Why would you say that you worked for her?" Like, just. We'll get there. We'll get there tomorrow. That's when we're going to the deep dive and the theories and stuff. But that's a recap of the episode. Just such a great episode. So solid. So solid. Heartbreaking that they're just chilling down in the crypts looking at their dead father's tomb. So sad. Just real sad. Also, 2 guards at the door. Y'all are fired. You're getting kicked out. You're so dumb. I'm glad that Game of Thrones has the time to still show us there are just idiots in the world. Just everywhere you go in the Game of Thrones world, there are just country bumpkins ready to just be dumb. Like, just seriously dumb, like they lost her, and you're just like, oh gosh. And line of the episode, Arya, when Brienne's like, yo, who trained you? Because that was an amazing sequence, amazing. The way that Arya and her were fighting, she kicked her and was like, it's good shit. But just amazing line when she's like, who trained you? And she's just like, no one. Turn to camera, throw on the cool shades, do the Olenna, like, tell Cersei. Like, it was so good. I was like, yes, Arya, yes. Okay, guys, that's the What's Update. My name's Elijah. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you thought of the episode down in the comments below. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with my deep dive and my theories on this episode. But you have a great day. Keep smiling, and just Game of Thrones is so good. Whew, I'm just still heart racing. Dragon flames. It's a good one. It was a good one, guys. All right, bye.